Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Walker Venrick with Sharp Sports Network, bringing you my top 3 plays for this January 15th 10-game NBA slate. This is going to be an awesome slate tonight. We actually have a slate where a lot of the ownership should be pretty diverse. Granted, it's before noon, so we don't have a ton of Uber chalk, but we also don't have a ton of injury news. So we're jumping into this slate actually in a pretty solid direction because a lot of these guys should give you an edge over the field tonight. None of these 3 guys are projecting to be extremely chalky or very popular. I think the first player I talk about will be the probably the most popular one. We do have Jason Tatum just ruled out, and that is going to jump us right into this video. So if you have not already, please do leave a like on this video. We greatly appreciate your support here as always, and if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns for us, please leave them in the comment section below, whether it's DraftKings, FanDuel, any DFS sites, or season-long fantasy questions. We're happy to give y'all advice when we can. Now, jumping into this, though, the first player I want to talk about, I just mentioned Jason Tatum has already been ruled out for this contest. Kemba Walker. I'm not talking about myself, but I am talking about Kemba. He has a 28% usage rate on the year, and like I said, Jason Tatum has been ruled out for this contest. That bumps up Kemba Walker's usage to it's actually just over 32%, which is a very significant bump. That's over 4%, which is, like I said, significant, but definitely something that we're going to want to take advantage of here. He's in a great spot playing against a Pistons team that allows the 7th most fantasy points per game on average to opposing point guards currently in the NBA. I don't think we can ignore Kemba Walker in a spot like this one. I loved him in my early look at the slate. I do an early look generally the night before, and first thing when I get up, I kind of continue that, and I loved him. I thought he was fine in cash games. And now that Jason Tatum's ruled out, now it's just kind of like a wow. Now he's really, really solid in cash games and in GPPs as well. He's got a monster ceiling here. It's pretty hard to ignore him. Like I said, he averages 1.37 fantasy points per minute with Jason Tatum off the court, and that's an average from a really significant sample size of nearly 300 minutes of court time without Tatum on there. He's fairly cheap over here on DraftKings at 7.2K, but on FanDuel he is just 6.7K, which in my opinion is an underprice. So that is the first play, and that is also obviously the cover boy on the thumbnail. But jumping into the second play over here on FanDuel, we have Kyrie Irving. When we talked about him a few days back, that was his first game back, and he was on that minutes restriction. It looks like that has been lifted, so I don't think he's going to do us dirty again. Granted, his efficiency has been there since his return, averaging well over a fantasy point per minute. In that first game back, he averaged over 1.5 fantasy points per minute, and then in this game against Utah, he averaged just under 2 fantasy points per minute. He has a 36% usage rate on the year and draws, honestly, a not-so-easy matchup against the 76ers team, it's pretty tough. They're tough against opposing guards, and they're pretty slow. So this is not generally like a spot that we like to talk about. We like to play guys that are in spots against fast-paced teams like the Wizards and the Wolves. And then we also like to play guys that are in friendly spots, guys that are playing against teams that are a little bit weaker against their position, things like that. Kyrie Irving does not have either one of those things really going for him here. And that's something that I actually love because this game opened with a 218 implied game total. Before noon, it is up to 223. That is a really fast jump, 5 full points before noon. The 76ers are currently 7.5 point favorites right now, but they're without Joel Embiid, and the Nets have a full go Kyrie Irving back. I don't think that spread is. I don't really do a lot of sports bets on actual games and spreads, but I think Brooklyn's going to surprise some people tonight and keep this very competitive with a charge led by Kyrie Irving here. He's truly just mispriced in my opinion. He's 7.9K on both sites. I don't see why. It does not make sense. It's Kyrie Irving. It's kind of like when LeBron was 9.5K. It's hard not to play him there. It's kind of the exact same argument here with Kyrie Irving, who's sub 8K. We just saw him play 32 minutes in a game against a Jazz team who is slower than the 76ers and is actually tougher against opposing point guards than the 76ers. And he put up just under 2 fantasy points per minute. I'm not getting away from Kyrie Irving tonight. I cannot be steered in any other direction. He is one of my favorite plays on the slate tonight. And the best part about him is he's not even projecting to be that popular. It's going to be a high edge play, it looks like, and I absolutely love him in this spot tonight. Jumping back to DraftKings for my last play that I I want to talk to you guys about. He is actually a pretty strong value play. He's a little priced up from where I think most people would want him to be, but that's not really going to steer me away from him, and that's TJ Warren for this Indianapolis Pacers team playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Indiana Pacers, man, they're looking strong when they have their full lineup, when they have their full starting five, when they get Victor Oladipo back, and they have Malcolm Brogdon, Domantas Sabonis, TJ Warren, Miles Turner. This is a pretty tough team. It's definitely not a star-studded team by any means, but they are a really talented team. Victor Oladipo coming back is something that I think is going to take away a lot from TJ Warren, from Jeremy Lamb. But before he gets back at the end of this month, I really think this is a good time to catch TJ Warren at his current usage rate and everything like that he has been performing on this year. He has a 21% usage rate so far in the season, and there's a chance Sabonis misses this game. I like TJ Warren regardless of Sabonis' status, but if he does ultimately get ruled out, I'm definitely going to like TJ Warren just that much more. A lot of variables and injuries are going to influence this game here against the Timberwolves. We have guys like Karl Anthony Towns and Domantas Sabonis both questionable. Those are massive impacts on this game. If he's just one of my foolproof guys, though, TJ Warren is. The T-Wolves allow the second most fantasy points per game to opposing small forwards, which if Sabonis misses, they might end up putting Warren at the 4. I could see them doing a couple different things, but again, that's kind of also contingent on the Karl Anthony Towns news, if they need to go small, big. That's why I say that there's a lot of variables in this one, but I do expect TJ Warren, regardless, to see a ton of minutes at the 3 tonight and thrive against this fast-paced Timberwolves team, who is currently the third fastest team in the NBA. It's actually projected to be a very competitive game, too. The Pacers are only 2-point favorites right now, and I don't think he'll be popular by any means, but definitely don't sleep on TJ Warren tonight. This Wolves team allowing the second most fantasy points per game to opposing small forwards. They're really fast. It seems like a smash spot for him, and I know that he's priced up a little higher, like I said, than we would want him to be, but regardless of Sabonis' status, I just don't think he's going to have a problem hitting value for this price tag on a bad night tonight, let alone on a good night. He could absolutely crush this price tag. I love him in this spot, and that is my last play for you guys. I hope you did enjoy this video, though. We will be live streaming on Twitch right around 4:30 Eastern as usual today. The link is in the description below. If you have not come out to the live streams before, they are a great time. We had a really awesome live stream yesterday. Had about 50 people watching for most of the stream, and it was absolutely awesome. So make sure you come out to that today if you have not before. The link is in the description below. Those of you that do, I appreciate you guys coming out and watching the videos, and I will see you later in that live stream. But good luck to everybody playing this slate tonight, and I will see you later or tomorrow.